You're about to watch a Trains Newswire video. If you enjoy what you see, consider looking at some of our other full-length videos. Chicago, America's Railroad Capital, 20th Century Limited, and a new collection of top-quality documentaries from producer Rich Luckin. All of these and more are available on our website, kalmbachhobbystore.com. Good morning, Trains Nation. Today is Friday, April 28th, 2017. Welcome to another episode of Trains Newswire Roundup. I am Steve Sweeney.
I'm Brian Schmidt.
We're so glad you could join us, Brian. Wow, lots of news this week, lots of stuff going on. Let's jump right into it. Union Pacific is having a bad week. Out in California, between Redding and Dunsmuir. Yeah. The bridge is out. Empty train, looks like some wood products cars, maybe some chip hoppers and some lumber cars, went over a bridge, and the bridge partially collapsed. And
Took the bridge down with it then.
Took the bridge down with it. Well, we're not exactly sure because it hasn't been fully investigated yet, but that piece of the UP is going to be out for 30 days. Looks like it's going to take out the Coast Starlight with it and enforce some bus substitutions on that line. And you had something similar happen to you recently, didn't you?
Yes, when I went to Winter Rail, well, it was last month now, I guess. I flew to Seattle and thought I'd take Amtrak, try the Cascade service, the new Telgos, down to Portland, and that did not work. There were mudslides on the BNSF, and I ended up riding a fantastic charter bus from Seattle down to Portland that day.
Yeah. So anyway, really backed up. Looks like they're going to be diverting traffic. Union Pacific, anyway, could be diverting traffic back as far as Utah to try and send it through a northern route into Washington State and then down around. Full story on Newswire. And then in Dallas, this was kind of weird. We caught this. It's on Newswire this morning, Friday.
I don't think I've seen this yet.
Yeah, this one's really funky. A container, I think it was a 53-foot box, on a Union Pacific intermodal train to Dallas, was full of lithium-ion batteries. When a passerby saw the box smoking, and someone stopped and notified the conductor checked out the train and called in first responders. The box exploded, knocking out windows in the area. Took firefighters 2 hours to put it out.
Makes you think twice about keeping your phone in your pocket, doesn't it? Yeah.
Ouch. That's a hot topic we don't want to get into.
Ooh, wow. Yeah. I see what you did there.
Yeah, double puns.
Yes.
Yeah, anyway, so really bad week so far for Union Pacific. Also a bad week for Penn Station. More problems there. Wick Moorman came out in a news conference this week and said that he's going to assign people to personally oversee, actually assign former Metropolitan Transportation Authority Chairman and CEO Tom Prendergast, to oversee work on Penn Station. They're going to take out several tracks and several platforms out of service continuously, round the clock throughout the summertime. Details forthcoming. Passengers, looks like they're going to have their commutes affected for a long time to come.
It's short-term pain, though, for a long-time improvement.
We hope so.
Well, yes.
I mean, we hope so.
That's the story, anyway.
That's the story. Right now, several tracks are affected. Now, you were down in Penn Station a couple of years ago,
briefly, and I was just told to sort of follow the leader.
Yeah.
I don't really know where I was. I think a lot of people who go in that station don't know where they are. It's kind of a confusing mess.
They don't know precisely where they are.
Right. Yeah. You're in Manhattan. You know that. But the way everything curves and winds around and it's all underground, so there's not a lot of light
not a frame of reference.
Right. Yeah. Not like the beautiful Grand Central, but.
Yeah. Yes. Well. Yeah, anyway, so pay attention to that in New York. There's more stories coming on Newswire. And we also have a story coming up soon on subway outages in the greater New York area. It looks like to improve those, the commuters are going to be affected as well.
Where will they get their sandwiches then? You weren't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that. Bill Shuster, Republican on the House Transportation Committee and chairman, has announced to the media that he and the committee members are soon going to have an piece of infrastructure legislation that he's dubbed, wait for it, the mother of all bills.
I see what they did there.
Yeah. But, it's not U.S. Air Force ordnance being dropped on Afghanistan. It's a U.S. Congress bill being dropped on the American people. To be coming details in the coming days and weeks.
Is this part of the famous $1 trillion Trump initiative, or is this something else?
Bill Shuster hasn't come out and said that. We've got Bob Edmondson on the ground in Washington, D.C., and we're trying to get more information on exactly what they're dealing with. But this looks like an initiative from Congress and not from President Trump. So it could be part of the $1 trillion initiative, and certainly the president could say at some point, yeah, I like that. I'm going to make that part of my $1 trillion initiative. But right now it looks like it's just coming from Bill Shuster. So, but we know, we have heard and we've seen some pieces in motion. People are talking to one another and papers are being passed back and forth. But will that result in something meaningful? I don't know. One interesting piece of it was that Shuster mentioned something about tax cuts and railroads, that if railroads spent $30 billion on their own infrastructure, if they had tax cut, how much more could they spend? So, but anyway, details on Newswire this week. Really, really crazy stuff. WMATA, workers for WMATA are not going to have a sick out. They were almost going to have a sick out. More than 500 of them tried to call in sick for today, and then all of their sick requests were denied. So we're not exactly sure what's going to happen there.
Amazing how they all just showed up, or many of them probably just showed up.
Many of them just showed up. But let's transition to rail fanning stuff. Jim Wren, our fearless leader, Jim Wren, is back in his old stomping grounds of North Carolina to follow a locomotive. And you've got a few more details on that.
So Jim is down at the North Carolina Transportation Museum in Spencer. He is down there for the unveiling, I think it's already done by now, of the Texas, the famous locomotive from the Great Locomotive Chase.
Yes, 440 American type, and it had undergone restoration in North Carolina. And I think they returned it
about a 16-month project, yeah.
Yeah, and they returned it in service. Anyway, Jim is in North Carolina live streaming.
It's not operating, it's just cosmetic.
Yes,
Right.
Cosmetic restoration, Sorry about that. But he's live streaming down there.
He is live streaming down there today and Friday and Saturday, so 28th, 29th.
And where can people see Jim?
Trainsmag.com/bigsteam.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So Jim's going to be streaming throughout the day on Friday and throughout the day on Saturday.
We should probably tell them too that 611 is down there and it's steamed up.
Yes, it is.
And the Lehigh Valley Coal Company,
Lehigh.
126, yeah.
Lehigh.
Lehigh, yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. 060, I think,
Yeah.
is also steamed up down there. The Texas doesn't run, but there is lots of steam down there for everybody
Yes.
who wants to come out to see it this
And
weekend.
And I think this is probably the first and last time that Texas will be on rails and moved a little bit.
That's right, yes. It'll be going back to the Atlanta History Center, and it'll be on display indoors. So it'll be well preserved, but not necessarily easy access.
Right, and you're not going to be able to see it out in the open with a sky background. So really interesting stuff. We're going to pause. Today's broadcast is brought to you today in part by a new DVD collection by producer Rich Luckin. He's got videos, Super Chief, the Super Chief, passenger trains in America, dome cars. What do you got over there, Brian?
We have the California Zephyr, the Daylights, and of course, Grand Central Terminal.
Grand Central Terminal, one of our favorites. You can get any or all of these videos at the Kalmbach Hobby Store, kalmbachhobbystore.com. Switching up a little bit on Railfan and Restoration News, 1309. Did you catch this?
1309, oh, CNO. Yeah,
CNO,
yeah.
2662 Chesapeake and Ohio, 1309, will be delayed in its restoration. There are funding problems. There's a whole big story on Newswire. It's really kind of crucial what's going on. It looks like there are reimbursement delays from the state of Maryland. We're looking to get more details on exactly why that is, but you can read up more. It's going to delay their planned July 1st opening till, well, they have at least 8 weeks of work left to do, including a hydro test, so that may push it back even further. But full story on Trains Newswire. Did you see about the youth mob out in San Francisco?
Bart, yes, yes.
Barrier Rapid Transit.
Last weekend.
Yeah, last Saturday.
Saturday, I think. Yeah.
It was crazy. 40 or 50 Utes stormed the gates, got on board of a BART train before it left the station, and robbed all the passengers, and then left before the doors could close. It's crazy. It's on Trains Newswire. Unbelievable.
Can we jump back to preservation again?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. The Age of Steam Roundhouse in Ohio has traditionally not accepted any tours, or very few. And now there's actually soliciting tours, people to come see it, but you have to be part of an organization, and the organization has to buy access, and you send your tour bus along. They've done it on a limited basis before, but now they're looking for more opportunities to do this.
On
So that's
Saturdays,
great.
right?
Yeah, Saturdays only, I believe. But it's a great opportunity if you have an organization that wants to work with the Age of Steam Roundhouse. You can find out more on Trains Newswire and get in there to see their fabulous collection.
Absolutely, absolutely. Which is something I have not done yet. So, really cool. That's it for me. What do you got, Brian?
That's all I have.
Well, that's what we got. You guys have a fantastic weekend. If you're out and about in the Chicagoland area, Brian and I and a few others from Trains Magazine will be at Lake Forest Illinois, for the Center for Railroad Photography and Arts Annual Conversations Conference. If you see us out there, be sure to shake our hands and say hello. We'll buy you a cup of coffee. And for everyone at Trains Magazine, have a great weekend. A lot of things I could say, but I'm not going to.
That's good. That's good, because the red light is on.
The red
There's a
light
lot
is
of
on.
things you cannot say when that red light is
That's
on,
right.
Steve. Yeah.
Many politicians have forgotten that.